wants to be a porn star so bad.
It's the Come Up BMX. It's Catfish, and he's talking about my dick. Today on the show, we've got the one and only Mike Brennan, owner of Merritt BMX and overall icon in BMX. And as my co-host, I have a shitty, drunk fucking goat named Catfish.
That is me. But in my own defense, I just got back from South Africa. I'm on jet lag. I've had a couple of vodkas and energy drinks. And we just did a kick-ass podcast with Mr. Brad Simms.
Right.
And now are with Mr. Mike Brennan.
Yep.
Icon in BMX.
OD all day.
Street rider. Sprocket staller.
Sprocket staller.
What the fuck is that? What are you doing in
X-Up
California?
rider.
What are you doing in California?
Coming out for a week, hang out with Brad, hang with Began, chill. We got a couple new products dropping in a couple weeks, so we're trying to finish up some promos. Like Began's got a new sprocket coming out, so trying to get a couple more clips for that before the deadline, before everything comes out. So
Let's go way back. Where's the Mike Brennan BMX story begin? Like, tell me about when you first picked up a bike.
a while ago, I started
Yeah.
later. Yeah, old, so it's a long time
Oh,
ago.
later than we would expect?
If he names the year, can you name the president?
No.
What year?
He's just going to have to name the year first.
I got a GT Performer in 98.
98 was Bill Clinton.
Correct.
Was that what that was?
Bingo! I know everything there is to know about world history. Yep.
We also want to welcome Brad Simms.
Hello.
I already
who
said
is,
that, but okay.
Staying
Yeah.
with the big boss. I know, but I just want to officially introduce him.
AKA the Predator.
98, you started riding BMX. How'd you get into BMX?
Saw the X Games on TV, was like hyped, and just being a kid, used to play basketball a lot, stuff like that. But saw it and I was like, that looks awesome. Want to do that? Always had like a BMX bike, just pedaling around, But then I was like, I want to do that.
But that's a strange transfer because, you being, how tall are you?
6'3".
6'3"? Oh,
6'3" and a half now. I think I grew.
You're a little taller than me,
I think I
feel
grew
like.
in my 30s.
Okay. Wow, that's impressive. I hope I get that. I could use an extra half inch.
I didn't
Weird
get
things
that.
happen when you're on level 3. You become
I
a
think
part of it.
I actually got smaller when I got into my 30s.
Your dick got smaller.
No, that will never happen.
No.
I'm
Is it
pretty
true
sure that does happen.
In between the breaks on Brad and Mike's podcast that you and Brad got boners and walked towards each other and saw who hit first?
We did not.
No. Okay, I thought you did. Sorry, my
Bitch don't
bad.
want to bump dickheads.
But so, okay, you started riding BMX. What was BMX to in the early days?
Just fun. Like I just remember being psyched going to like local bike shops and seeing like new bikes and new stuff and getting excited just pedaling around and like dumb stuff, just like boards of plywood on some bricks and jumping holes and so you could jump the furthest with my friends.
Did you have a crew growing up?
Just kids in my neighborhood rode with, and then just rode a little longer and figured out a little more. Like, okay, this bike didn't really last too long. Got another bike.
How did the Louis Vuitton seats come about?
He's a high-end kind of guy. Yeah. Well, what
explain
year
that
was
one.
that?
Maybe like 02.
Okay.
We had a friend that had like a Mini, and this kid was a schemer. He was good at it, scheming everything, and he would get like rolls of like Louis Vuitton fabric and everything like that. He sold the dude like all the fabric for like 50 cents, fucking Escalade or something, all like the Louis fabric, and he would just give us. He's like, whatever, like here's like leftover pieces and chunks. So I just started making Louis Vuitton seats. Brad seen it. He's like, oh shit, Mike, come on, I need one. Send him one. People just started bugging out like, oh fuck, need to get one of those. But it's fun for a little while. Just get the staple gun out.
But so what were you doing riding-wise? Were you racing, riding dirt, skate park, street? What was it early on?
I rode for like a few years before I even like saw a skate park or anything like that. I just rode down the street. Like we didn't have dirt.
What's your hometown?
I grew up like New Milford, Jersey, so like North Jersey. Okay. Yeah, like not too far where like Bob and George were from, so like 20 minutes north, something like that. So like once I started riding a little more, like heard about those guys, and I just like started looking up to them, But things were, it was a little different back then. But
At what point did you really get into street riding?
Like I said, I started riding. I didn't really ride anything else. Like just had a couple friends, and then met a few more people just through like pedaling around, and like they really rode. And I just remember like I always had like a couple pegs on my bike, flatland stuff. Started out like that, and then just trying to grind stuff. I remember the first time trying to grind anything, we would go to this one spot because it was a curb. It was like a big ass curb, but it had like curb cut at the end, so you could just ride onto it. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. Just hauling ass, like leaning, like kept falling off, but like, and then that's it. Just try and grind everything. Couldn't do anything. Could just feeble everything.
At what point in all of this did you decide that you wanted to have the lightest bike in the world and that you were willing to go to any length to do so, including putting your foot through the frame?
I got a little better. I always worked. I always had jobs. So I worked construction in Manhattan, and I did pretty good at the time because I was a little older. Like I said, I was a bunch older than all my friends, so I had like real jobs.
Right, yeah, because I remember you being a little bit older and being like the grown man presence at like the Brooklyn Banks Jam, where you were the dude who was clearly older, but you were like killing it, doing all the new tricks or whatever.
Yeah, like I said, I started riding when like I was 15, so I was a little bit older than everybody, and like I got my license first, so I was like driving people. We'd drive to like Fort Lee, and then we just pedal over the bridge because no one wanted to pay the stupid toll.
Right.
So we just pedal over, hop on the A train down to Union, get out, ride, and then that's we're riding with Ernesto, Skinny, all those dudes.
Right.
But yeah, it's good.
So you were a big fan of that like New York City experience from the very beginning?
I loved it, dude.
It was amazing, right? Like especially because you're not from that kind of area where you're around all these people all the time, so it's foreign to you, but it's so fun.
That's like you growing up in Jersey, was right next to the city, and like you see stuff, and like then just being there, I was there every day.
Right.
And then working in the city, even more so. Like I'd get up at like 5, leave the house like 5:15. I'd be in the city by like 5:45 every day. I'd work from 7 to 3, and then that's it. I'd go to my car would be parked. I'd change my clothes in the car, pull my bike out of the trunk, and just pedal over to Union, meet up with someone.
Doesn't it feel like sometimes like younger kids now, they sort of like have lost that sense of how fucking serious BMX scene at the time, whereas like
it was the best.
You were down for every minute of your day.
How many times did you go and steal a board of plywood and ride 20 blocks just so you could ride off the stairs at Union? Like me and Skinny be
and that's the
prying
yeah.
boards off.
I remember
like,
you doing it too. I remember you and
time.
Skinny disappearing for 15 minutes and coming back with a board.
Every weekend.
Well, it's like crazy to me because like the era that he lived in was also like the rest of the BMX world had its eyes on New York City. That whole scene.
Because New York was the place
you growing
at the time.
Up, you're like, oh shit! Like every dude that I'm riding with, the rest of the world is watching this shit. What was that like, knowing that like New York was like the forefront of street riding at the time?
Being young, or maybe I wasn't as young, I didn't like grasp it right away. For a while, you just be like, oh, it's awesome. We got all these spots right here. Like it's cool. Like go ride the city. Go ride. Like Jersey had tons of stuff, but it was we'd drive around, and then like it'd be like during the week we'd ride. Or before I got the construction job in Jersey, and then hit the city on the weekends, and then I started working in the city. I was just there every day, like nonstop.
But did it ever occur to you that you might be able to be a pro rider, or was that very foreign to you?
I didn't really think about that. We were just having so much fun, and like we would just go stupid little trips, like go to Bethlehem, like me, Ernesto, and like Will, like Taubman. Like so I had a car, and some people, so we'd always like whatever.
Ernesto from Dance Comp?
No, Ernesto from Hoboken.
Okay.
Yeah, some people know. He was the man.
Well, he worked at Animal, right?
No, he just.
Oh.
He's just always Union local forever.
I know him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he worked at Animal. Fuck, I feel stupid now. So when did you get picked? What was their first sponsor?
First sponsor. Dynamics.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds sick. It sounds
You
like
might
a
remember.
woofer,
There
a
was,
subwoofer
dude,
company.
Steve.
Wait, was it a parts company that Grimaldo
They
also
made-
ran for?
Yeah, they just made pegs.
Okay, I remember hearing that that Grimaldo quit Animal because he thought he might be able to get like $100 a month from this company. That was it.
Yes.
And you were on it too.
Yes,
Wow.
that was
all right.
first.
Dynamics.
They made
It sounds better.
like a subwoofer company.
It sounds better as a subwoofer company. Dynamics.
Or like a car body
they
kit.
made pegs, and the dudes were real cool. They were trying to do something, and like we'd go on a couple of trips. Like it was nothing crazy, but we had fun. Like Skinny was on it, Raw was on it. It was like that happened right before Bulldog happened.
Yeah.
And then like I was friends with everybody, these guys beforehand, and then Bulldog happened, and we kind of took it into our own and just like, hey, we can do something with this. Like Skinny started doing the video, and we're like, all right, let's, like Jimmy's helping us out, but let's all put in work here and try and do something with this.
What was your relationship with Jimmy like? Were you guys just close friends at that time?
I'd seen him at like King of New York contests and stuff like that, and just like, Jimmy's the man.
Yeah.
He has skills. Like he is like a people person. Like he, like he's got those skills. Like some other things he didn't have.
He inspires. He's one of
Yes.
those dudes that, like, when you talk to Jimmy Mack for 10 minutes, you're like,
You get hyped.
holy shit, I want
Yeah.
to fucking do more.
He's done that to me before, like back in the day. Like, grab me, drag me to the side, and just give me the talk of like,
so many riders on.
you are the fucking dude right now. You got the opportunity. I'm proud of you. Blah blah blah. Like Jimmy definitely will give you a little motivational
that shit
talk.
was
yeah.
real.
Yeah.
None of that shit was
agreed,
fake. That shit
agreed.
was 100% real. He gets hyped.
Yeah.
Like, he was awesome. Like,
Did you like?
we wouldn't be here.
Did you like riding the square chainstays?
No.
No.
But did I ride it happily? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like free bikes.
Was
like,
there any bad
without-
side to the square chainstays and seat stays?
Besides looking at it, looking
Yeah.
weird? No. Like, it looked funny.
Yeah, it was always weird because I always wanted to tell Jimmy, like, if you want to sell these frames, you probably got to change.
We had
those.
like an intervention. Like, I'm not even kidding. We all sat down. We had him sit in the little office room. Like, we're like, listen, Jimmy, like, we feel like we got something that can work here. We got to ditch the square chain stays, like,
yeah.
and get rid of the cartoon dog. He's like, no, I won't do it, man. We're like, please, please. He's like, no, we can't do it, man. We're like, please, just like, keep the race frame like that. Like, it makes sense, different. Just make the street frame, you know. We're gonna give you the GO for the new one. Just ditch it and let us do the graphics for it.
Oh, he was an ardent fan of the square back in.
Yeah, was he just
But
too
in
hard
his
headed?
defense- In his defense, that's his baby.
That's in his
baby,
head.
you know?
That's what made Bulldog Bullet, and that's what made it better. But like I think it was just like so much that it blinded him a little. Like, because if he had done what had done, like the team, like I feel like we would have been capable to do so much more. Like,
Yeah,
it was
because
Brad,
New York
it
was so
skinny,
hot right then,
and
Animal was so hot right then that it was like if you could have a frame company that
Out
kind
of
of
New
captured
York
some of
City.
that energy, which I think it could have, or it sort of did. Yeah,
it could have worked. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like we thought we could all like change it up a little bit, not change it, but like
I think it was just
guide it.
bad timing because like Jimmy he had a bunch of good street riders. He like had Chris Hughes who was like killing it at Dew Tour.
Right.
It was like he had all the bases covered and it was just like, you know how
TJ
BMX
Ellis,
is like,
Colton
yeah,
Satterfield.
and it was just,
Nah, that
like,
was a little bit later,
just
yeah.
bad
Yeah, that was
timing,
well
like wrong
after we
place,
all-
wrong time. But
So-
We kind of had that intervention. They were all like, "Hey, listen, you know." Everyone felt like they kind of maxed out and it was holding them back.
Right.
And we're just like, "Hey, you know, like."
What was it like filming the Bulldog video though? Because that was a really fucking influential video to me. at
That
the
was
time.
all. That was just friends filming. Like that's the same thing we would do every fucking weekend in the city. You know, like it was
Right.
Skinny and me and Ra and Oba.
That was
Brad.
fun. Jerry losing clips.
Yeah,
You know?
that was
baby
that was the
deleting
deal.
everything.
Yep.
And like,
Interesting.
it was the best, man.
Well, but what at this time, what's going through your mind? Because again, like BMX is such a weird thing. Like there's no fucking like this is how you're supposed to do things. So like you're getting put on, you're getting notoriety. Like what's going through your mind is like, okay, I'm filming.
We're
clips,
hyped. Like this is awesome, man. Like we get to go on a couple more trips. Like we took a van, we drove down to Roots. Like Jimmy almost killed us.
Yeah.
Kept buying stink bombs, popping those off in the back.
Oh yeah.
Like
In
yelling
the
at us
South,
like that. I
in the
swear,
South, in the
one
South,
more,
they sell them
one
shit.
more of those. We're turning the van around. You ain't turning shit around.
So wait, he's the team manager, but he's also letting off stink bombs in the van.
No, he's driving the van down
We
to
were
Roots.
busting.
And
Oh, okay.
you know those little like glass
Yes,
things
I
that
remember,
smell
yeah.
like
Oh, yellow glass.
They're the
horrendous.
best. The
people
best.
used to
So-
do them in the hallway at school.
We
yeah.
bought so many of them. So many of them.
I used
And
to
he's-
dump them in the heaters in my high school,
Oh,
like
my
crack
God.
them and put them in the heaters.
So he's screaming at everyone the whole time, like, he's like, I swear to God, one more of those things goes off, I'm turning this fucking van around. Dead silence. Like 30 seconds later, you just hear like,
You know what?
everyone's at the, I think
you
it was
found
over.
blood.
Everyone's at the
Red.
fucking vents breathing out, seeing like,
Oh, it's so strong. It burns. It fucking
oh,
burns.
it's bad.
Oh, to be young, right? Like, why did we have so much energy
then-
that we wanted to just let off stink bombs?
I'll do that tonight if I had stink bombs.
And then Megator, that was,
We all
Yeah.
had staph infections.
Yeah,
Who the
still-
fuck is- We stayed at some dirty ass hotel.
the hotel was like $19 a night. 4 of us got staff. I slept inside my bag, like inside my hockey bag, my bike bag.
And you still got staff.
Well, this dickhead and
place
Skinny
was
dragged me
swallowed.
across the carpet. We was like all fighting like dickheads.
It all
Everyone's
comes out now. You gave your friend staff.
Well, he
you
got it
gave your
too.
boss staff.
No, we all got.
All of us wrestling around, and he got dragged by
Dude, the hotel
took
was filled.
probably
Shit was-
7 of
like I
us.
said, the hotel was squalid.
Yeah, I've had staff a bunch of times. It sucks. It's
It
the
I've had
worst.
got I've had ringworm.
I had ringworm,
No, thank you.
and I got
Pass on that
scabies,
Scabies happens.
but never had an
Pass on that.
STD. I just want to throw that out there.
Shout out to
I don't
Adam for
believe
not
it.
having STD.
You don't believe me? I'm gonna pull up my test right now for you. I had a girl
panel,
check.
4 panel.
What? 5-panel. Just like the hat.
Brennan, give us one of the craziest BMX related stories that comes to your mind.
Oh man, on the spot, trying to think.
Breaking
something.
the fucking PS2. What was it? PSP.
PSP.
Yeah.
That was a funny one.
Hit us with it.
Everybody remembers this from the Shook intro because there's just basically a dude screaming. Oh, well, this is different, but there's a dude screaming at you, telling you
Which
to
is
stop
Gala.
breaking the rule. Yeah, what was that all about?
No, the old
Oh,
man
the
that-
rail.
The
The
old
old
man.
Yeah, and then you break the
What are you,
PSP.
nuts?
What are you
old-
fucking nuts?
Old cranky guy that lives like, my parents' house is like 4 blocks from that spot.
That rail's
Love
still
spot.
like that?
Still there.
Amazing looking rail. I never rode it, but it looks
I
fantastic.
can't go there. I tried to do sprocket to over on one of the other rails. Cops roll up, give me a ticket. I got charged with criminal mischief and had to go to court. All this stuff.
Without any specific damage to the rail, they just
Yeah.
were like, "You're in trouble."
Yeah, like I did like a sprocket stall. The cop saw me, just pulled in the parking lot. I rode there since I was a kid, like,
What?
and then that's it. Like this happened a couple years ago, and then I had to go to court multiple times. I finally got out of it. I had to go paint all the rails at school.
And this is you as an adult,
Yes, this is like a couple years ago.
and you're thinking like, "This should have happened to me when I was 16 if
I've
it was
been
gonna
riding
happen."
this
Yeah.
school for 15 years. Like now, I'm like,
Yeah, now.
I'm like, dude, are you kidding me?
What the fuck?
And like the rail was fucked.
Yeah.
I put a scratch on it. It was rusty. The paint's falling off. They're like, look what you did. I'm like, I rusted the rail. like,
So did you ever have any like further confrontations with that
oh,
one
that dude
guy?
yelled at me like 20, 30 times.
He was
would
always
get
around.
He lived in the house right there. Like, he would get so pissed.
Do you think he know that you eventually went to court for this?
No. He's still there, though.
Is he still alive?
He's still there.
Let's go kill him.
What happened to the one time?
Jesus
No?
Christ. Easy,
I
Tonto.
mean, maybe a
Easy.
stink bomb on his porch or something.
Let's talk about it later, but let's kill him.
We'll leave that up to you.
Okay, breaking the PSP. Why did you do this? You just showing off how rich you are?
Yeah, I was,
No, it was broken, right?
No, it's brand new. I just bought it to smash it.
Shut the fuck up.
What? No way.
I think it fuck.
This doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
We're me and Gallup were riding the incline club because we're stupid. It was like raining or something, so like whatever. I was always in South Jersey a bunch too, Jared and those dudes. So down there, cruising. Me and Gallup were like, fuck it, we'll go there. Staff was still there, so we're like idiots buying bike parts, trying to make our bikes lighter because we're morons.
Staff,
Buying-
unlike staff. This is a different staff. This is STAFF,
Yes.
not STAPH.
No.
Okay.
No. Used to be a bike shop. No more.
Hmm.
Yeah. But
R.I.P.
Shout to
Staff.
Bob. Shout to Bob.
went down there, riding bikes and stuff. And then we leave, and I see something. I'm like, yo. And Gob starts slowing down. I just jumped out the car. Like, right there on the side of the street, someone must have drove off with it on, like, the back of their... Oh. And I'm like, yeah! Scoop it up. I'm like, yes! Screen. Perfect. I'm like, yo. Just came up on a PSP.
Yeah.
Hyped. And, like, start driving. I turn it on, and, like, the screen behind the screen was, like, messed up.
Oh, so
I'm
it's
like-
almost perfect, but not really.
Yeah, but it was like mint. Like somehow it only had like one scratch on it. It had like one game in there. I'm like, yo. And then he's like, yo, let's just go bring it to the place and get a new screen now. Because it was a couple bucks for a screen. Like whatever,
Yeah.
PSP was like 200 something bucks, and like the screen was like to get the screen replaced was like $50 or something like that. I'm like, yeah, nah, I got a better idea. Like, yo,
Let's break it.
we're driving back and his car overheats. He had like this turbo like GTI or something. So I'm like, yeah, just pull in the parking lot. He pulls over in the parking lot. I'm like, yeah, quick, take my camera, film this. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna chuck it as far as I can. He's like, what? I'm like, yo, I'm just gonna throw it as high as I can. Just chucked it, it just blew up. That shit was funny though.
And it just seemed like the perfect Shook intro.
I guess so. I filmed so much stuff for that and just sent them like tapes and tapes and tapes.
Yeah.
You like that one.
It's crazy because when I think back of that era, like you were inventing a lot of tricks that went on to kind of become a little bit more popular, but like you had the X-up rides, you had crazy tail whips before anybody was doing tail whips, but you were pulling them to frame quite often. True or false?
Yes, true.
Yeah.
That happened.
Big
a lot.
X-up ride whips and shit, dude. Like nobody
But
was
see,
doing
the
that at
problem
the
was,
time.
I
Nobody
learned
still
them-
does that.
I learned them like bunny hop because
Yeah.
I didn't have like, like that's how I learned them, and then like it took a while to make the
connection.
switch to the 2 feet.
Yeah.
What was like when you did I think it was at the Banks, you did the sprocket drop. I forget what video it was in.
That was a little older.
Over into the bank?
But that was the one where everybody was like, holy shit, like nobody had done anything like that before.
I do remember.
Do you remember that as far as...
Behringer used to do them. Like that would get me hyped on them. Seeing Behringer do them.
Then you became the dude.
Saw Brennan do them. I liked it.
He
Kept
took the
doing
ball
it.
and ran with it.
You got any good?
Brennan's, tell about the time you crashed on the hangar tooth.
Was he there for your gangbang? Where you guys were all sneaking in the
he
window?
wasn't.
No,
Jesus.
that's a good
Nah,
thing.
he
Probably,
wasn't,
yeah.
He
That's
wasn't
good.
part of it. He didn't.
Which one?
The hangar tooth you fell.
Oh, I got the
When you
anti
missed your front peg next to the wall.
That one sucked.
Mike missed the hanger.
There's like a crack before it. I got like the worst anti
Missed the front peg.
Peg didn't even make it
Went
on.
over the bars, landed, was flat on pavement. Broke, laid it for like a few minutes, got up, and did it again. The next day, he was sitting on the couch. He couldn't do anything. He was just laying there like, I can't do anything. He goes, I need money. He goes, here's my PIN number. This is my ATM card. Go to the ATM. Bring me back money. Bring money and a receipt back. That's the first person I've had just give me the ATM number. I mean, give me the PIN number to the ATM card.
Really?
I mean, how many people do you give your ATM?
All the time. My friends, yeah.
Sure you do. Yeah.
Go get me money.
He's like,
I do this all the time.
This walk back with.
Vegan, you can keep $20. You go for me,
No,
yeah.
that's what rich people do.
That's rich. RNS, yeah.
That's what rich people do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate,
Go get me poppers. That's
Hate-
Adam's
hate the game.
thing.
Poppers.
Please,
I don't even know what those
go
are.
Get me some poppers.
Hate game,
They're
hate
the
the-
homosexual drug that loosens up your asshole.
poppers.
Really?
Yeah, that was-
There's a drug that loosens up your asshole.
Look how he pretends like he does. Where's the camera at?
Oh, I just figured I should know about this. If
Wait,
this
there's
is
no
gonna really
camera
be-
anywhere.
Yeah, it's the iPhone, you dumbass.
Oh, stop.
Oh man.
Catfish is retarded.
I'm sorry. Continue.
Catfish is retarded and homophobic. What?
Relaxes your sphincter.
The sphincter.
Sphincter.
So, are you trying to tell us about something about Mike Brennan right now?
I'm just embroidering on what Catfish stated about the
Embroidering? You're embroidering?
Got the needle out.
I got the snapback. I'm embroidering this Peep Game logo on it.
5-panel, right?
Shout out to Peep Game. I'm not hating. Catfish just has a Peep Game shirt on, so
Catfish
I thought
drank
of it.
a half vodka and Red Bull, and he's
Don't get mad at me. Literally today when I put this shirt on, Bizzle backed me up and says, I said, hey, does Steve-O have any beef with Brennan? And he's like, why? I was like, because I'm going to wear this on the shirt tonight and I don't want to fucking...
Are you
start any
anti-Peep
shit."
Game?
I'm trying to play nice with everybody. Some people don't like playing nice, but
Speaking of playing nice,
Really? Just as soon as someone says something interesting that seems like it might be good to elaborate on, he's like, "What
You-
inspires you?"
okay, now there will be no inspiring here, ladies and
As
gentlemen.
soon as it seems like we might have something interesting to talk
God
about.
damn it, this is important because for the last 2 years, people have been wondering,
Wow, here we
who
go.
is it? Who is it?
who is what?
You know me. You know Adam. You know TCU TV. Mike Brennan, you have been associated with an organization known as Rodeo Peanut. Talk to us.
I saw that Instagram. It's pretty funny. It's pretty good.
So wait, explain this to us.
He's like a NASA astronaut when you ask him about aliens.
What
This
was
is this is.
what was Rodeo Peanut before it became more well known as an Instagram account? What was this just like a crew that you were a part of early on?
We're a couple friends made some stuff, and
You, Jared, Alfredo.
Alfredo, I think, was who came up with the name and started doing it.
And what did it mean in the beginning?
No clue.
No idea.
No
so you're
clue.
just playing dumb.
I came a little late to like the South Jersey.
So were you in the Rodeo Peanut shook section?
Shook section.
Dude, that was
No, I
the
was
shit.
not.
That's what makes me so mad about Rodeo Peanut is that shook section because it was Little Flip and it was just like a crew. It could have been anybody, like just a very eclectic group of riders, like any BMX crew does. There's different ethnicities, different weights.
Alfredo was a
they're all
big weight.
shredding.
Yeah.
They're all shredding. You're like, oh.
That's why Alfredo was so sick. Was he was the fattest dude doing tricks? Yeah.
But back then, before the internet, Rodeo Peanut was notorious for prank phone calls. And you had heard legends about them pranking Mira or them pranking fucking Jay Miron.
Corey Martinez asking him about God and stuff,
Whoever it
right?
was.
Yeah. I would hear
And
about
then-
this.
And
Yeah.
now we're in an age of Instagram, and Mr. Brennan, his name has been thrown into the hat many times. Adam, back me up on this.
I've heard a
as
lot of
being
people
involved
associated with it.
Rodeo Peanut.
I've heard a lot of names. I've heard your name come up.
My name comes up usually once a week, mine and Adam's, and they're making fun of me.
I don't think
or-
anybody thinks that I'm in charge of it or you because they're pretty tough on
No,
us.
we're easy targets.
But that's
Right.
perfect camouflage. If you
Can
guys
you
were
please
smart,
let them tell them to
seem pretty
unblock
smart.
me? Unblock me. I want to see it. And I've said this before. Rodeo Peanut is hilarious. BMX, you have to make fun of it. The fun is that when you're landing in grass or you're slipping a pedal, that's funny. But when you're like hating on somebody and you've got 45,000 followers, dudes are hating on riders for Ricani or Nigel, and they don't know why because of personal things. That's when I think we're like self-destructive and we're hurting ourselves.
But BMX loves Rodeo Peanut regardless of if Mike is involved or not. I mean,
know, but at
BMX
the end
loves
of
it
the day,
because
we
they
wanna make it-
need, you know, just they like to see, you know, that's the weird thing that you realize about from Rodeo Peanut is that it's not necessarily about the shit talk. It's just BMXers get excited when anyone is kind of real. Because nobody's that real in BMX. Because honestly,
Everyone's afraid to be.
the industry is so small that everybody knows each other. So it's like, you know, even if, I mean, I don't know if any of you guys are examples, but even if somebody in the industry hates somebody else in the industry, they're probably not going to just go in on them publicly because everybody sort of knows each other. So Rodeo Peanut's cool because it's this anonymous thing that Mike may or may not be involved with that just attacks people in a funny way, and there's no.
I know, but I think people, because the internet and social media is so, that's what BMX is. They take it as gospel, and these kids have no reason, have no idea why they don't like this riders because Rodeo Peanut's making fun of them. Let's make fun of them, and I think that's really self-destructive. And I blame you for that. Look at me sitting there smiling.
I'm enjoying your guys' conversation about this. I'm just trying to learn.
I mean, I just think he has like a little bit too negative of a perspective on it because at the end of the day, it's like even. I mean, there was
That's because Rodeo Peanut's putting my goddamn dad's phone number up, and people are calling my dad and ordering gyros from him.
That
He
didn't
doesn't
happen.
even
That seems
make
out of
gyros.
line
He
for
does not
sure.
even make gyros.
But I don't know that actually happened. I don't know.
I did not see that.
To me, it's like everybody
he's the
deserves to be
overseer. He
criticized. You
All
know.
the faxes go
I'm
through
just
Brett.
saying,
know.
he said he didn't see it. I'm saying I didn't see it.
I think it's funny, and I think the BMX needs that. But
I think I'm going
that-
to put your dad's phone number on the screen right here if you
God
want to text me that.
Damn it, Alex.
As well as Len Kaczynski
Right
right
here.
below it. Yeah. This is Catfish's dad's phone number. Please feel free to call him, text him nudes.
No, I
he would
think
love it.
it's funny. I think it is funny, and you have to make fun of yourself. but I
Catfish's
think,
dad
like,
jerks off to gay porn.
When you're, he does. But I just think like when you're hating or you're calling out a rider for a reason, like a personal reason, and you've got a mass following, they're going to follow in your footsteps, and they don't, have a reason to hate this person other than these guys don't like this guy.
Okay, but here's the thing: is that we really have no reason to believe that Mike Brennan is directly involved with the day-to-day affairs of Rodeo Peanut. However, we have every reason to believe that he is directly related to the everyday affairs of Merritt BMX, his influential new BMX parts company that's
Let's
been
talk
around
about
for
that.
how many years?
3 years now.
Let's
3
talk
years.
about that. Okay, let's talk about that. You're right.
Much better than
Excellent
him.
veer. Excellent veer.
He's
You
got
are-
the accusations. I've got the facts.
Let's do it. Animal bikes. No more animal bikes.
What happened with Animal
Merritt.
Bikes? Yeah, why'd you
What's
leave
going
Animal?
on?
Let's get your.
I didn't leave. They fired like a handful of people or whatever. Like things were changing over there.
Right.
So a handful of people got let go, and I was one of them. Like maybe 5 people when I was, and like they were just cutting back, downsizing.
Would you say that Animal was like in a bad place at the time when this happened, or what was your perspective on it? Like, were you happy in the job, or did you see it going that way?
No, I enjoyed being over there. I mean, everyone was hustling, doing
Right.
their thing, trying. It was awesome working for.
Because you were a huge
BMX.
Animal. Like when you were younger, because you went pro for Animal quite a bit later. Like I remember you kind of like being out there for a while, and then it was sort of like you really like worked your way onto the team over time.
Yeah, just
'Cause you had just
same-
been out killing
same-
it for so long,
Same
yeah.
with everybody on the team,
Right.
Like they didn't just. That's how Bob did it. You're not
Right.
gonna just snatch up someone like. It was different.
So you get let go from the company. Did you have like a big elongated beef with Ralph, or would you describe it that way?
No, I got me, Tom, a handful of the clothing design, a couple other people got let go, and I just like, I got family. You gotta give me a couple weeks to figure out what I'm doing. And they're like, yeah, all right, you got 2 weeks, and then after the 2 weeks was up, I was like, I think I'm gonna step down from the team as well. I think I'm gonna try and do my own thing. Like me and Sean, we're like, hey, maybe let's,
Sean, aka Sean Karan, one of
Sean
the
Karan.
he was involved with Animal from day one.
He,
in terms
from day
of,
one, he was the product designer, and he had quit Animal like a year before that whole thing happened.
Right.
So he had been doing his own thing. Like I think he did some stuff for a claw and a couple other things, and he was just doing his own thing. But I was friends with everybody, and still talk. You know, we always talked a bunch about other stuff, and then yeah, I don't know. We're like, hey, you know, I'm not working there. We both like love it so much. Like like I said, as soon as he was done there, he was doing stuff for a cloud and other stuff, and like I was done. But you know, like you live it, you know. And we were just like, hey, maybe we'll do it.
Right.
And we were just like, got into it, got hyped, and we're like, yeah, let's do it.
But so this must have been a huge decision for you, because Animal, especially at the time, were like really the only relevant like East Coast parts brand ever in BMX, and also probably one of the most influential BMX companies of all time. Like, what was the motivation to start Merritt? Like, what made you think like I can do a different version of this? I can do something new. I can do something that's dope.
Just, you know, being around BMX, you see so many things happen, and you know, you have. You know, like same thing. Like you see how things happen, and you probably want things to happen your way, and it doesn't happen your way. And looked at this as a way to make things happen the way I thought they should happen. It's the same thing, Sean. We're just like, hey, I think we can do things like kind of like this. We were thinking differently, you know. Like we didn't like how everything was like so street focused as much. We're like, BF's one of the first guys we talked to. We're like, hey, you know, like. Fucking legend, dude. You know, like, hey, we're doing something. You know, would you be interested in being? And he was down, and that was like that was awesome right there. Just being.
See, that was an interesting thing that you guys did. Is that you put like BF on the team right away, because he had just kind of been let go from Primo. Yeah. Brad didn't have a part sponsor at the time, so you put him on the team.
Yeah, what was your marketing approach? Because especially at a time like that where you're like, we don't know how we want to market our brand new company. What was going through your mind? Like, how are we gonna show the world our company?
When he called me up, at first I didn't believe him. He's like, hey, we're working on a new company. And I was, you're working on a new company? What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, I messaged you about like details. We want to give you a signature part. I'm like, yeah. Like Mike's lost it. No, really.
So you didn't have a lot of faith at first, yeah.
What the fuck is Mike talking about? And like, I would say 2 or 3 more weeks went by. He spoke to me about it again. And a little while later, and after that, we started getting product, and next I flew back. They had a warehouse, and
warehouse was a little while later, but like when you came back, we had just gotten it. But yeah, we were like just running stuff out of Sean's house for a little while, you know, soft goods and the sprockets we had made in the U.S. And you know, we were just trying to hustle, try to do things slightly different how we thought they should be done. Like not everything crazy, but everything we put out, we try and do the way we see it. And like. Too many companies nowadays just put out stuff to put out stuff, or put out stuff to like they see someone else put out and they gotta do something. Like everything we put out, we try and do something like one notch better. Like you can't change everything, but if you can at least push the industry and everything just like one notch further. Mm-hmm. Just even the silly stuff like the bar ends. Like we put the little metal washer in the bar ends. Like it's a bar end, but like now this bar end lasts that much better, and it's going to last this kid 6 months instead of 6 weeks. You know what I mean? And
is that a challenge for you though? Like, given that BMX parts have kind of like settled on like certain ideas, like a lot of stuff is pretty streamlined at this point.
No, there's areas to improve on everything. Like certain things, like you can tell me, I guarantee every single part on your bike, one little thing bothers you about it, or one little thing's a problem, or you see one little thing happening wrong with this or that, and like it doesn't always have to be a strength or a thing. We try and push every product just a little bit more. Everything, like if we can do crazier, like we do crazier. But like the same with the free coaster. Like so many of my friends riding coasters and they're just blowing through the drivers. We're like, right. You know what? Let's do bushings. Let's make it work.
Right.
And we took a little while to figure out to get work right. But yeah, the bushing driver and then lifetime guarantee. So kids ain't gonna have that problem anymore. Like it may not be groundbreaking and insane, but you know, we just eliminated one little problem that kids have, and like try and push just a little bit more. So
right.
Yeah, and if somehow a kid does mess one up, still haven't got a kid call mess one up, but like they do, we like whatever, they give them brand new.
How hard is it to start a new bike parts company in 2013 when you started it, or 12?
Yeah, 2012.
Okay. How hard is it though? It's like people always say that the BMX industry is fucked up. The marketplace is bad right now.
I think it was kind of good timing. Things were going down and we're climbing up, and like we've been growing like crazy.
Yeah.
Sales been going like crazy, so things are just every year just bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think our size is, I think, helpful right now. We're not the biggest, and I think some of the bigger companies are struggling a little bit, because they're used to pulling in these giant numbers because they have 50 employees and doing this. And
right.
Merritt, there's just 3 of us hustling hard as can be. It's me, Sean, and Ricky, and just busting our ass day in, day out.
What's up with Ricky?
Ricky is crazy.
He
but I love
seems
that.
kind of crazy. I've been watching a few of these webisodes. He seems like he's kind of out of his mind.
I do not know anyone that has more fun on their bike. No one.
Really?
Ricky will outride anybody.
Montana Ricky
And
is who we're
name
talking
a
about.
single-
Montana Ricky.
name
When
your
you said
top-
Ricky, I didn't know who we were talking
Name
about.
your
Okay.
Shout out to Montana Ricky.
So,
Damn,
rap,
rocket
kill him.
manuals all day. I love that motherfucker.
He
I know, dude. like,
rides he is 33 years old. He rides every single day.
and he moved from fucking Montana to Jersey on a whim to try and get in the industry. And he's
Really?
fucking yeah.
He worked at a shop. I'd known Ricky for a while, and then my friend Scott, that does all the filming for us, was real good friends with him, and I'd known him for a while. And he's got that outgoing personality, and like inner bike, we were talking to him a little bit. Like he was chilling at the booth and bullshit, and we're just like called him up. It was like a month later, and I was like, "Yo, dude, we need a new salesman. You interested?" He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Dead ass. You interested? I think you'd be great at it.
Yeah.
You want to do it?" I'm like, "You think about it. Get back to me. Let me know." He's like, "Yeah."
What are you looking for when you hire a salesman? Are you looking for a crazy character like Montana Ricky that could just...
Before he even answers, I'm gonna say initiative. Somebody that wants to fucking hustle.
You need the energy,
loves BMX. He loves riding bikes, and he is great at talking to people. The shops love talking to him. He's crazy, he's insane. He's great at talking to people, and he's a great guy.
And see, somebody like Montana Ricky, and I've said this a million times on the show, is that like if you love BMX, you can make it work. Because Montana Ricky, he's got skills on a bike. He's just some four-eyed goofball from fucking Montana, and I'll tell him this. I fucking love him to death. But he took the initiative, and he's like, you know what? Fuck Montana. I'm gonna fucking make this work. I'm gonna move to Jersey on a whim. Start working at Merritt. You look at his Instagram, like he is fucking hustling and he's grinding and he's fucking making it work and he's living it.
Now he's a
fucking-
webisode hustler.
There you go.
He's like 2 episodes
he's
in.
got-
Playing the game with
And-
Scotty, and he's doing good. Because I explained to him, same thing with all the guys on the team. Like, maybe like us being a little older, we see things a little different than
Yeah.
some of the younger guys. And he may be the same age as me, but he's younger at heart too. Like he's just out there, and I'm like, hey, dude, like listen, like you see who's doing good right now, who's doing stuff, like what's real popular. He's like, I don't know, all these people doing the webisodes. I'm like, okay, then there you
Get
go.
it
You
in.
just answer your own question.
Bitch, you want to work here? Go do a webisode.
No, I'm like, you want to keep playing the game? You want to have fun? He's like, yeah, I love filming stuff. I'm like, do it. I'm like, do it. He's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
See, I didn't necessarily want to like Montana Ricky's webisodes, but I watched the first one and I was like,
They did a good
pretty
job.
good.
Real talk,
It's
real-
better than some of the
See,
ones
but
that I've seen, for sure.
Like when you have a weird trick and you got some weird dude on the other side of the planet that does the same weird trick.
No.
He's all into rocket manuals, so like I just inherently have to like him. But his
Does
attitude,
not
he's
care
BMX.
what anyone thinks.
He is
and
fucking
he just
BMX.
has fun.
And
I'm like,
that's
if you convey that, you're gonna do good. Just he doesn't care.
and that's
you
the
tell him
crazy
he's an
thing
idiot.
about
You
him.
tell him that's not a trick. He doesn't care. He's like,
He's
I'm having
from the
fun.
middle of nowhere, America, and look at him now. In our weird little world. And on top of everything else, he has not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 eyes. He has 4 eyes. Everything
Two
that
in
he
the
does
back,
with
two in the
4
front.
eyes.
Those glasses are
No,
pretty big.
shout out to Montana Rick.
Who else did you guys add to the Merritt team early on? And anybody in particular that you were excited about adding? Look at
Yeah.
stupid ass Brandon.
I-
Charlie Crumb.
I know Brandon for a long time, and got him on We the People.
Was this pre or post jumping homeless people?
Pre.
That was
And
before
Merritt,
that.
Merritt was Brandon's first sponsor. He wants to make that clear. Oh, We the People was his first one. But you got him that.
got him on We the
Okay, yeah.
I was on We the People and talked to the TM dude, and I was like, hey, check this kid out. This kid's good. He's from, that's when I had just moved to Connecticut. I'm like,
Right.
riding with all those dudes, Shark Attack dudes and Chip Martin, these guys. And I'm like, riding for a little. I'm like, yeah, he's a good kid. I'm like, he's a little crazy. I'm like, but he's good. Like, look into it. He's like, saw the video I sent him, some quick like you did at the plaza. He's like, yeah, make it happen. I just talked to him. I'm like, yeah, you want to do it up? He's like, hell yeah. And then boom, that was going good.
There you are.
They were hyped.
All of a sudden, you're
Sent him to Cali with GH.
180 hard way to switch ice to Indian Cabin all over the globe.
And then, like I said, the Merritt shit started happening, and then hooked him up a few things, and then I was like, yeah, he's gonna see. And then he started doing better and better. I'm like, yeah, all right, take him on trip. And then he went on trip.
Yes.
And he destroyed it on that trip.
He did, yeah.
He's good on the trips. He knows what has to get done. He hustles.
As long as you feed him weed.
And he eats ass. As long as he eats some ass every night, yeah.
A little bit of ass.
But he hustles, he clips up, just like, and then the more guys get motivated to clip up. And then I was like, yeah, we got to bump him up. He's killing it, man. No.
Is it weird for you to deal with the pressure or with the balance of like you've got some new kid who's super young, kills it super hard, but then you also have the older dudes on the team who have all this respect and they're well known and everything, but they might not necessarily be riding as hard as the 19-year-old
Like
on
BF?
a trip? Well, BF is an example. Like BF on a Merritt trip, the
BF and
average
Began
Merritt
are those,
trip.
like the craziest teammates.
On the average Merritt trip, though, like BF might not really want to ride most of the spots they go to because he's on a different. I mean, he's a very special example.
He's on a new level.
Nobody cares what he's
But-
doing.
I hate you guys.
But BF is awesome. Like, BF does his own stuff for the company in his own way. Just him being there and him showing up. Like, we had dealer day at the warehouse. A bunch of the shops stopped by.
Every day at the OSS store is dealer day. Drug dealer day. All right, keep going.
We enjoyed that one.
That was funny, right? I had to say that.
So like, we hit him up beforehand, and we're like, yo, and he's like, yeah, of course, I'll be there. And then those dudes just respect the hell out of him, and they're like so hyped that he, because he comes down, anything like that, he's always down to come. And then like that stuff's so big,
Right.
And then like we just shot a poster with him at the warehouse, and like that's awesome because shops get super hyped. Maybe the 12, 13-year-old kids that just starting out don't respect him, but all the older kids, and like that goes a long way.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit because in terms of promoting your brand, like when you go to bike shops all over the country, you obviously have established yourself as a professional rider. Your team has established yourself. What's that like? Because there's, a lot of shops are like, 20 to 40-year-old dudes.
That's
know
why
about BMX.
having all these guys, that's why I picked, because I know, I was on the phones calling shops. I know how the game is, and it's a little different. So
They care about the riders, right?
care. I'm
you
like,
call a
hey,
shop, they care about you having the hot dude that everybody cares about, right?
Now it depends on which shop you call.
Right.
You call like a local shop like Revolt or something like that, and I tell them I got Brandon Began on the team. They're like, okay, now they're interested.
Right.
I call some shop in the middle of Texas, in the middle of nowhere, that has no clue what's going on, and they did BMX 20 years ago, and they do just a little bit now. And I was like, yeah, we got Brian Foster on the team. They're like, oh my goodness.
Right.
And then I email some distro out in the middle of Kazakhstan, and I was like, yeah, we got Brad Simms on the team. They're like, oh my God, I want that.
Right.
But there's also shops in the middle of Ohio. They're like, yo, what's up, so-and-so shop? Yo, you're like, yo, what's up? This is Mike Brennan. And the dude on the other line is like, holy shit, this is fucking Mike Brennan? Yeah, fuck yeah. Like, what, yeah, Merritt, yes, order everything.
It works good. Right now, everyone's hustling and pulling their own, and, like, everyone's different. Like, it's great. Having Pete is different, too. Like, he's completely, Pete's ridiculous.
He eats a lot. Shout out to Pete Sawyer, yeah.
Loves eating.
Eats too much.
Loves eating and short shorts.
You got
He's like the guy. He's a lot like me, where it's like if everybody eats at like a restaurant and everybody has like some fries left over, he will walk
Eat
along
that.
and eat all the fries. He will
Where do we
eat
go?
your
We go to
pizza
Pizza Hut?
crust. Yeah.
Root beers for everybody.
Root beers for everyone.
Yeah.
That was a great trip. That's so crazy to me that I've been hanging out with Brandon Began for like almost like 3 years every single day.
That was the first trip you went on,
Yeah,
right?
that was the first time I met him, and it was funny because Jeff Martin. Huh? I'm confused.
thought
I
of the
don't
best
know what
question.
else to do.
I just
Yeah.
thought of the best question.
And the cars rolling down the street playing it. Everyone playing it.
I just thought of the best question. Adam always yells at me because he says I don't ask good questions.
What inspires you?
No, fuck off. Fuck off. Adam took a handicap parking space one time. Mr. Brennan,
I did, yeah. That's true.
why is your organization called Merritt?
Ooh.
I was living in Connecticut at the time. Sean was living in Jersey, and like after the animal thing was over and done with, we were talking about this, and like we started, and then I was driving back and forth, and Sean was driving back and forth till we were figuring stuff out. And Merritt Parkway is one of the main highways. Like you'll take 95, but 95 gets horrible traffic, and you'll jump on the Merritt. And it just, I thought of it one day, and I was like, "Yo, Sean, what do you think about this?" And
What are you
he's
eating there,
like,
Brad? Yeah.
Cookies.
Cookies, okay.
Kush keys. They're Kush keys. They're cookies with Kush in them. Kush keys.
Cookies.
Keep going with the highway talks.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was like, yo, I think this is my work. And Sean was just like, yeah. And it just kind of clicked, and it just felt right. And then Sean started drawing up like logos and stuff. Like, he kills it. And he like, next time I went to his house, he had like a million drawings and everything going crazy. He's like, yo, I got all this stuff, but I'm thinking like this one. And I was like, saw all this stuff, and I'm like, yo, that looks good.
Right.
And, like, we just played with the little, and like, boom. Like,
One thing that struck me with Merritt from the beginning was that you guys went with like a lot of like companies in BMX now, they want to go super hard in one direction. They want to be like the weed company, or they want to be the or like the badass company or whatever. But Merritt was much more of like a simple. I hate Catfish. Are you done?
Yeah.
Much more of like a simple, clean cut, almost like classic. Like you guys were trying to present a brand that seemed like it had been around for 10 years rather than 1 year, you know?
Well, yeah, we're just trying to do stuff right, trying to do stuff, you know, like we see too many people just caring about one aspect or one thing, or so focused on one thing,
Right.
being like this, and like we didn't like it, you know, like that's not how it used to be when we were growing up. Like everyone wrote everything. He wrote, you know, like that's how, and like it needs to go back to that. Like, you know, people care about too much, you know, like just we like everything.
Right.
Like we go to Woodward, we sit there, ride everything. Like I have fun. We go ride some dirt jumps. I have fun riding that. Like I have fun riding everything.
So do you feel like there's a weird thing where like people want to act like super hardcore street riders and like I never go to skate parks, blah, blah, blah. But then you're a company owner, so you see what the kids are doing. Wow, I wish that vodka broke. So you see that like a lot of the kids, what their version of BMX is like, yeah, they hang out at the skate park all day, and that's what they do. You know, that's their version.
Cool. Like
yeah,
that's what you do. If you're having fun, that's awesome. I don't care what the kids are riding.
right.
Like I didn't have a skate park growing up, so I would just ride curves. But like that's what I had to ride, and like you got better for you. Like that's awesome.
Right.
Like I wish I grew up with a skate park around the corner from me. That, you know, like this kid gets so lucky, grows up across the street from a plaza.
Right. Plaza Pro.
What?
5 miles
Oh
away.
my goodness!
You poor
You
baby.
had to pedal 5 miles.
Brandon had to ride his bike there. Also, hey, you ride for Merritt. You've got shadow socks on. I'm just gonna call you out right in front of your own team manager.
Oh, you think I didn't see that 20 minutes ago?
Last pair of clean socks I own.
Last pair of clean socks. Well, where did you get the socks? What is?
Washer and dryer is dirty.
Ron Bonner ain't coming through dropping off socks for you. You
He
fucking
stole
bum.
them from someone.
He's stolen from Simone Baracco or something.
probably did.
I don't
Thief.
know. Thief. Horrible thief.
Orange socks.
Have you guys ever thought of, well, what is like the overall strategy with like releasing Merritt's video content? Like, have you guys ever thought about doing a DVD, or you just like doing like the
Well,
web
we did
content?
the Tasers DVD, like
Right.
it was the quick road trip one, you know, and like that worked good. But I just like a bunch of guys on team and Sean, like we would like to do a DVD, but I just feel that like right now it's just like business wise or money wise, it doesn't make the most sense.
Right.
Just for like, you know, people doing it, it's great. You know, us being a little smaller, I don't think it's as great of an idea maybe in another year
Right.
or something, because it's a big undertaking.
It
It's
is,
a big
yeah.
task, and like to be able to do that task and still keep up with the other content
Right.
is just a lot. And like I said, there's the three of us, and then we have Scott that does all our filming. It's a lot to take on right now, and I know a lot of us want to do it, and we just feel like it's just not the greatest time to do it. Like the Tasers one worked out good because we just like got a van, packed as many people as we can in the van, and everyone just produced like crazy, and it worked out great. Like we were like, hey, yeah, we'll see what happens. And we got so much footage. We're like, yo, let's just do a free DVD out of it, and it was awesome.
Is the BMX world fucked up from your opinion? Is it a tough
It's not
world
it's just,
right now?
It's different. It's just changing. As long as you just like realize things are changing, like so you talk to some people and they get salty because it's not how it was when I was younger and things aren't the same. And like, okay, everything changes. Like it's just different. Like Began was saying today, like the Moeller was talking to him and like saying like, hey, you know, like really need you to keep up the Instagram content. He's like, yeah, of course, man. And like that's
See, I think like Merritt is a great example of like if I go to fucking Riga, Latvia, and I see a kid with a Merritt shirt on, I know that kid is into BMX. Like you're not gonna buy a Merritt shirt if you're not really into BMX.
well, hopefully a bunch of people are.
Well, I think that's I mean,
Yes.
Yeah. You can buy an OSS shirt and you don't ride BMX. It's totally fine.
I've seen him in China. I have seen him in China.
Yeah, I know. That was one of the best compliments that OSS ever got as a brand was that one of the dudes who writes for the Make website made a post that was like, I'm sick of all these little faggot scooter kids in China wearing OSS shirts.
There's a shitload of people. Merritt is big in China. You know, Merritt is big in China because of him. What do you want to say to anybody that's been into Merritt the last 3 years?
Just thank you so much for the support. I mean, we're working like so hard to try and put out the best stuff possible, you know, try and make everything a little better. And like, we so much support from all the kids and like shops and everyone, and it's just awesome, man. Like to like really like, cause we just kill ourselves day in, day out. Like Sean will stay there till like 3, 4 in the morning, days in a row, weeks in a row, just trying to like he'll sit there like we're testing new rims right now, and he'll just stay up. He just won't sleep for like days in a row, just trying to get it right. And like, all right, okay, I think this one's gonna be a little better. Okay, this one's even stronger. I had no idea this one's gonna be. And I'm like, holy shit, you're insane, and it's fucking nuts. I love it.
It's crazy. Sometimes I wonder if kids realize that there are so many people in BMX that care that much about.
Like we sit there and laugh like we're crazy. Like why are we doing this? Like we're like we love this shit too much.
Yeah,
like, it's crazy. You know, like trying to figure this stuff out, doing all the silly stuff, like rushing around, but like.
You kind of wonder yourself, like, do the kids care as much as I care?
I don't.
You got to just hope. Yeah, you got to hope that they care.
Will.
Yeah, yeah.
If you got your legs chewed off by hyenas. And
they're pretty badass,
there's a
dude.
weird kid in Sweden that said, I'm going to make a compilation of all the greatest Mike Brennan clips.
Wow.
All of your greatest clips. What song does this Swedish kid put your compilation to?
We have to go with Dipset.
Dipset? What song?
What song?
Do you have a song?
I'll let him pick.
Dipset.
I'll let him pick.
When I think about you, one thing that always stands out in my mind was that one clip in All Day. I'm pretty sure it was the ender where you do the sprocket stall to down rail, and it's like it's like a drop onto the rail, and then the rail is way too short. Like your front peg lands like 4 inches before the end of the rail, and that always just stood out to me as like that. If Mike Brennan could take one thing to the grave, it's like he did a shitload of insane sprocket stalls. Combos. Like I don't remember anybody really taking it as far as you early on.
That one I was searching for that setup for a long time, and like I think that might have been like the Z was out to shoot the ride interview.
Right.
And that was like the only one I found anywhere in the area that was like possible to work.
But it was
like,
not great by any means.
No, it was pretty horrible.
It was sketchy as fuck, yeah.
And but the rail was above the rail a good way. Like I was sick of doing the ones like
where you could just push your bike onto it, yeah.
Like it's cool. Like I always saw Behringer doing it. It gave me I'm like, you gotta find one that drops onto it.
Yeah.
Like I found one that went to a kinker later on, but it was like it's not the best setup either. But like I was like had to have. But that one was like really high over bars. But like Z was there, and we're like, all right, I just wanted to get it done. So I was so hyped it came out. That day too, I was like, all right. I was going to try and do it to ice, and then it just ended up not working out.
See, that's what I was just thinking. I'm like, it's a short rail. He could have done it to ice, but what the fuck does it feel to go from a sprocket stall to drop into ice bag? Yeah.
It's all back end tuck.
Yeah.
So as you jump, there's like, I need to find one with, I think, another like bigger drop to make it work.
I feel like you could have done it, but I feel like it would have been the craziest feeling to hop out of that sprocket stall and just lean back as far as you can. You know, that would be fun.
Yeah, dude, because it's really awkward. Because like the rail being so high, like it's a couple things like didn't
Changes
work into the
everything,
factor. Because like you're barely getting up, and you have to get your weight over the point, and once your weight's over, you're already like this, and then it's all leg tuck. So
That's
you're
why
like
that's so scary because even like on a quarter, like on an 8-foot quarter, if you do sprocket, just going in, that's fucking scary, and you've got to transition. He was doing shit where there's just the fucking rail where like if you don't get over that rail, you're going to your face.
The crazy one's in Austin.
oh,
Which
into
one?
the ditch. Oh man.
Oh, from that one animal. That one was steep.
Yeah,
The bank was like
the one in Austin.
was
He
like
does it.
until-
It's the first clip in All Day, or like one of the first clips. You just
Yeah,
sprocket
it
to
was,
over, yeah.
cuts, and it was
Oh, cuts, yeah.
it was like it's right near that like abandoned mini golf course, like,
Right, yeah.
Near there,
Where
but
we
yeah,
spent
like
so much time, yeah.
and like the bank was like super steep and just like a bike length long, and I was like sitting there, and yeah, Behringer was there.
Shout out to Walter.
Shout out to Walter, yeah.
Walter's a good guy.
Okay.
No, but this is okay. I just want to say this, as long as we're talking about his
preparing
actual
for some
riding.
good questions.
Smoke a cock. I just want to say that the sickest thing I probably ever seen was when I went on that Merritt trip, and this was a couple years ago. So Mike, he's like a little bit older. He's allowed to chill, whatever. But it would be this like incredible thing that would occur like at every spot we would go to, where like everybody would ride. Began would get a clip or two. Fucking Pete would get a clip or two, and then like right when we're about to leave the spot, Mike would just go and do like an insane banger. Like the key one is, if you watch this Merritt East Coast trip from 2013, I guess, or maybe 14.
The link for it is right here.
Yeah, the link is right. It's in the description. But there was like a huge outrail that nobody else was going to do, and Mike just like right when we're about to leave, he's like, "All right, I got this." And he did that, as well as like a crazy, I think it was an overgrind on the straight rail too.
Gap to over.
Is that weird for you? Like, you're on a trip with Brandon Began, Brad Simms, fucking Pete Sawyer, all these dudes who are like new age tech dudes who do all this crazy shit.
Rode with a bunch of these guys, like rode with Began a bunch. Pete was on We the People, going on trips with Pete.
Right.
Brad's practically my brother, been riding with him forever, and like it's just a little more challenging sometimes, because I'm driving the van around and all right, passing the cameras, like doing everything. It just makes it a little more challenging, but it's still,
But is that a tough call for you, where it's like, I'm going to watch everybody do their tricks the whole time. I'm not going to make myself the star of the show at all until the last minute. And then it's like, all right, you guys are all done. All right, I'm going to fucking do this crazy ass banger.
Yeah, try and wait it out, just because, like, step back. I had my time, whatever, and step down, and but like I still love doing the stuff. So like, if I can still get in, I'm gonna get in. But like, those guys are more important. So. But
like, your back is fucked. You got a lot of health issues. Do you feel like there's gonna come a point in the near future where you're like, all right, I'm just gonna chill in the actual riding stuff, and I'm gonna let you guys be the dudes, and I'm not gonna be in the videos anymore? Or? You'll get there when you get there, right? Yeah.
I don't care as much as I used to about doing stuff. Like, I talked to Jared, and we talked about doing like one together, and I was talking to Vaz a while ago, just maybe like one last good one, and we're like, it's a little different. Like, Careless, there's so many other things going on, but like I still love doing it. I would love to do another one, but it's just time and trips, and like you said, like these guys come first. But like, if the spot's there and the setup's there and I'm feeling it, I'm just gonna go for it.
What kind of spot or setup would make you turn or loop the block, even if your bike wasn't with you?
Rails. He's a rail boss. He's always been a rail boss.
A good rail setup, or like a good, like a weird bank to rail or something. Always love, or a step down or something like that.
When you look back at BMX, like your whole career, is there any like one trick that you look at and you're like, I kind of contributed to that? Like, I might have invented that, or at least took it for it. Yeah. Yo, dead ass. I gotta say this. When I used to hang out with Mike Spinner a little bit in like 2006, when I first met Mike Spinner, that's one of the things I remember him saying. He said, he's like, I watched that Shook video and I saw that one guy, Mike Brennan. I saw him do the shopping cart, which for the kids out there, like almost everybody's not going to know what this is. It's basically like you hop up a ledge, you do a tail whip, and you land with your front wheel. So you're kind of doing a nose manual, but you're running behind your bike. Your whole bike is around, and then
wheelbarrow. It's also been known as a wheelbarrow.
When you get to the end, you do the rest of the whip, and then you jump back onto your bike. And I remember Mike Spinner, who you influenced, telling me, yo, I went and learned that trick right as soon as I saw that guy Mike Brennan do it.
Yo,
there's your contribution right there.
It's forgotten already. Too bad.
I mean, it's remembered right here.
Now
the Shook video came
forever.
out. I went to Lakewood with like Gob Incline Club. We get there, and I see little kids doing it across the box. Me and Gob.
Right after you did it?
Yeah, it was like real quickly after it came out. We both fell to the floor dying, dude.
Yeah, that must have been so weird.
Dying. I'm like, oh my goodness, look at these little kids. Like, it was hysterical, dude.
Right.
But it was fun, whatever. You have fun.
How do you feel when you look at the BMX scene on the East Coast? Like, are you just proud to have been a part of it? Are you excited for the future of it?
Yeah, man. It's definitely changing. Like, it's not like it was. But there's a lot of good young kids. A lot. I feel like it went through a lull, like, because it was up here, and then a lot of people slowed down. Just got older, kids that growing up.
And sometimes it feels like after the whole scavenger thing that happened in like the early 2000s, that there was never like a real next wave of like star riders.
There was like a little gap.
Yeah, like there were riders, and you got somebody like Nigel, obviously, he's like made a huge name for himself and everything, but it just feels like in a certain way, in terms of there just being like star riders, that the East Coast kind of went underground a little bit again. And
it's just,
recognize that?
company. Yeah, definitely. There was definitely a law, like companies supporting people in certain areas, like that always changes too. Like if there's not people supporting like the young kids, it's not going to be there.
They might not stick with it because they're not getting
or there's not
recognition,
there's not anything for those kids to like strive towards, like like when you grow up in an area, you see what's around you,
Right.
and like there's so many good young kids around the warehouse now, and like some of them come and cruise, and we try and do a couple little jams and rides in to help out more. Like that's why those things are so important too. Like some of the guys, like these guys on the team are great now because they realize that like I push it hard, like the shop stops or the jams or like the little events are so like important for the kids,
Right.
because like how many when you were younger you didn't get to see, or you see like one thing. Like I saw a part of a 2-hip show once,
Right.
and I was like, I can't believe this. Like
That's the biggest thing in the world, yeah.
I was like, there's people riding bikes like somewhere near me. I was like, this is insane. That's why like every company should be doing as many as those as they can, not just for your company but for BMX as a whole. Like that's great for the industry. Like you pick, if every single one of those gets one more kid riding, that's great. And then who knows what that kid's gonna do?
That's what's crazy. Yeah, because I started riding BMX because of a GT air show. When I think about it now, like every time we do a jam around here and there's like 100, 200 kids.
None of us would be here right now.
Exactly. And there's some little kid there that I barely even notice because he's some little kid on his bike in the corner, too scared to talk to anybody, whatever. But that could be me.
Who knows where he's going to be?
That's where he found out about BMX. That's where he recognized that it had something going for it.
Are down to do this. Beat and Brad, they understand like how important that stuff is, and like we try and do as many as we can. Like it's great. Maybe you can't do everything and give back, but if you can do a few things and help out a little bit.
Totally.
Try and do as much as you can. It's good.
So I say time in and time out, like you want to make BMX better, support BMX companies, and you got a company like Merritt that Mike has paid his dues and flipped over the fucking handlebars a million times, and he's giving back to the shit. Like,
what was your worst
BMX
injury
companies.
over the years? I know you had a shitload.
Broke my ribs a ton of times. That sucks.
Yeah?
Ribs are rough.
That sucks.
Who is your favorite rider?
Favorite rider right now, or like Will Taubman was always mine.
Shout out to fucking the Russian.
Will Taubman was my dude. Yo, Caleb Kornbeck just sent me a video of some girl like pushing her tits into his face. That
we
was
don't
awesome.
care about that. We were talking.
Yeah, you're right. Will Taubman is huge on the list for me as well.
That super like hyped me up when I was young. And then seeing him and then riding with him and becoming friends with him made it even more like killing kickflips back in the day. First one I seen doing like rail to kickflip stuff, like threes, best threes, like
Will Taubman, dude.
bar spins were on point, and just seeing him do stuff like that would just get me so hyped, dude.
See, and that's the thing sometimes too. Like, as much as I travel, I go to these places, and I'll be in fucking Poland. They'll put in the animal video, and they like so many. I think we, as Americans, we've taken that for granted. Where this is BMX culture is where it started, and people all over the world look at that as this is how BMX is, and like that's the crazy thing about something like Merritt is that you guys have taken it to the next level, and you're still killing it, you're still riding. How old are you?
33.
33.
Gonna be 34.
I feel like he's a better 33 than I am a 32, though. I think he's much more likely to do a kink trail than me.
That's true, but also he's never had malaria.
How many kink trails
He's never had malaria.
Absolutely zero, so that probably explains it.
He's never had malaria, and he's never had hepatitis, so he's already...
I've never had either of those either. I had scabies once.
He did have scabies.
Yes. And it was tight.
You seem
You
pretty
had
proud of
HIV.
I was proud because that was the only time in my life that I thought I had an STD. And then I like even hit up this girl that I had been hooking up with. And I was like, yo, I gave you genital warts. And then she was so mad at me. And I got to call it the next day and be like, just kidding. It was just scabies. She was still really mad, actually.
I've got another question.
Scared you?
Mr. Peanut, I'm sorry, Mr. Brennan. What is the funniest Rodeo Peanut Instagram post that you've ever seen?
Fair question.
I don't know.
The one that you laughed hardest at, or you showed your friends, or Meek Mill.
Have you ever seen the Rodeo Peanut Instagram?
I have seen it.
You've seen it, but you just don't really
Pretty
know
busy,
much about it. Yeah.
Warehouse, got the 3 kids. Attempt to ride my
It's
bike.
3 kids. How's that going?
3 kids. It's a lot of work, dude.
Man, you've produced a lot of sperm. Yeah.
Would you rather 12 times a year, once a month, you shit your pants uncontrollably, or every time you ride, your back wheel is rubbing?
I'd rather shit my pants.
You just think of that right now?
No, I've been talking about it for the last 3 days. I would rather shit my pants.
I couldn't wheel rubbing. No, it's
Yeah.
not happening. I
Wheel
wouldn't ride
rubbing
my
is the
bike.
worst.
I would not ride my bike.
Devin Smiley would take the wheel rubbing.
Over what?
Vegan would take
Over
wheel
shitting
rubbing.
your pants once a month.
Once a month, and you don't know when it's gonna happen.
No.
Oh man, fuck that, dude.
But
yeah.
every time you grab your bike, your wheel is fucking
I would not
rubbing.
be able to ride. I
Yeah, I might just quit riding. Yeah.
I would stop riding.
What's the
I don't shit my
what's the
pants.
weirdest shit you've ever seen in your life? Sexual or non-sexual?
Weirdest.
Like a poop or just
I'm
anything.
just asking, like, so shit they.
Oh no. No, the one when you and me rode from Jersey City to the. That was bad.
Jersey City to where?
Jersey City, Clifton, to
Right.
go to Old Animal Warehouse.
Yeah.
It's in Clifton. So it's like 95 degrees out. And I'm living in Jersey City. And what's it like?
You had to ride back on it.
How many miles is it? It's
Oh,
far,
like,
dude.
15 miles or something crazy.
Yeah, like, and dickhead, we ride highway the whole way because we're like, I don't know how to go. Let's take the highway.
You're
Ride the
not allowed
highway.
to be on the highway.
No, but somehow we didn't get stopped.
What the
Pedaling-
fuck? In New
pedaling-
Jersey?
Pedaling up the exit ramp for the Holland Tunnel, like pedaling up the shit.
Oh my god.
Onto 109, ride down 109 to Route 3, cross Route 3, cross over a bridge. Like cars are honking us. We're on a little, like, going a bridge over Route 3. There is no sidewalk. There's
You on the rumble strip?
Yeah, no, there is no rumble strip. It's the lane ends,
Just-
and then there's like this much curb with a barrier, and we're
Yeah.
riding on that, like, ride past the Meadowlands, cut across, then down 23, and like, I got my camera on, I got the 2100 in my bag with the best core with the 3 battery things, sweating my ass off. Luckily, we stopped. I had no socks, so I bought like a pack of socks, and like, it's so hot, and I'm dying, and I just get the bubble guts so bad. I'm like, yo, Brad, I'm not gonna make it. He's like, yo, nah, you can make it, dude. You can make it, dude. I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna make it. Yo, hold the camera back. Just had to hop the divider, find like a tree or something, like lean up against it. Luckily, the socks.
On the tree.
Yeah,
Wow.
bad.
The
Luckily,
tree died from your diarrhea.
but I had the old socks. So
But you
they
didn't
saved
shit
me.
your pants. Adam has shit his
Lost
pants.
a whole like 12-pack of socks.
I'm sure he shit his pants out riding.
We've all shit our pants.
no.
Really?
No, I'll just go.
That's it.
I wasn't out riding when I shit my pants, so it doesn't count.
All right.
I was just hanging. That's legit though. People don't know how hardcore it could be in Jersey and New York and shit.
Pooping is real.
Poop is real.
It hits you the worst time.
Shitting against a tree sucks.
Catfish is a fecophiliac.
I've
You've got a lot of big words that I wouldn't have expected you to have. A lot of little words
Dude,
here
go-
and there, but then fecophiliac might take the case.
You need to go to like Poland with him because you're like at a fucking bar and then he's just like "Skraparabipa," and the entire bar is looking at me and he's like, "I'm about to set you on fire." Like,
Do you have any of that desire in you? Like, I'm gonna do the Brad Sims thing, and I'm gonna fucking travel around Uzbekistan or whatever the fuck it is. Do you go crazy with the traveling thing, or are you a little bit past that because you got kids and a family?
I mean, there's a couple places I still like to go. You know, like 1 or 2 things. I still never been in Barcelona. I still would like to go there.
Right.
Kind of
Actually, that's where Adam shit
Really
his
want-
pants.
That's where I shit my pants.
really
yeah.
want to go to Japan still.
Japan is dope.
But like, there's a couple places. But like, other stuff's more important.
Mm.
So I'm not like.
Family, they'll keep you grounded, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's good though.
Where do you see Mike Brennan in 5 years?
Walking really bad.
Already, you walk pretty bad,
Is
right?
that from your big old dick?
You got a little bit of
My
a limp.
knees are killing me already sitting in this little chair.
Yeah.
But no, hopefully just doing exactly what we're doing right now, and then just everyone's doing a little better. We do better, and then all the team guys can do better, and then we can go to Japan.
Oh,
we
yeah.
can do bigger things and make better parts, and just keep doing it. Keep having fun.
That's what's up. You got any thanks? You got anybody you want to send shout outs to?
Do you want to say any thank yous on behalf of Rodeo Peanut?
Ooh. Go in.
Do you?
Do I? No.
Yeah, his thanks is, please stop talking about me. Stop making fun of me.
No, I'm an easy target. That's fine. Keep making fun of me. I'm an easy
Stop making
target.
fun- Yeah,
I'm a
he's tearing
good-looking
up.
target. My
Stop making
dick,
fun
my
of
dick
me.
is bigger than anybody on Rodeo Peanut. But just tell
That
them
might not be the
unblock me.
best approach. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about
It's funny. Rodeo Peanut's funny. Just stop the hate in BMX. That's all. Make fun of funny things. Make fun of landing in grass. Don't make fun of somebody because
Translation.
you don't
Stop
like them.
making fun of me. Stop making fun of me. All right, Mike, you got any thank yous? You want to send out while Catfish is fucking peeing his pants over being all sad?
Oh my! No, just all the kids, all the shops that support us. all my friends, all the team guys that hustle and work hard and make this work, so we can all have some fun. Everyone keeps hustling the more we can do. Sean is not here. He's back there at the warehouse killing it. Ricky for being Ricky and being a kook. And
Webisode guy.
yeah.
Whose dreads do you like better, Brad Simms or Brandon Began?
I don't think Began has dreads. He's kind of looks like a mop.
He's been trying for a long time. It must be funny for kids watching this to get to hear us talk about Brandon, but they don't really get to see him. Yeah.
This is dreads. This is, I'm not sure what it is.
Dreads? Dread.
But you can't, if he backs up a couple more feet, it just looks like weird wavy hair.
It's like when you find
get close, you see it's
every 6 months you'll see a fucking weave on the street. It's just got leaves in
That's
it.
Began,
It's just,
yeah.
that's Began's head.
Kaczynski tumbleweed.
Exactly, tumbleweave. Exactly.
Do you ever think about changing the team page on the Merritt site to, instead of saying Brandon Began, to just say Stevie's friend?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Something to think about. Something to think about. He hates when we say this. I'm not just Stevie's friend. I'm my own man.
I'm my own man.
Where can the people find out just Mike Brennan information as well as Merritt BMX information? OD all day.
Yeah, I
You're
think
still ODing?
I haven't been riding because I stopped. I slowed down.
He hasn't been
on.
ODing all day.
You're busy. You're busy.
I still have it on reserve.
He ODs once in a while.
He's way out.
I have it, but I switched it, so it's like Mike_Brennan_. But I still have the OD all day one stashed. Locked just
In the
case,
shoebox.
just in case he needs to come back.
Support real BMX.
But,
All you
yeah.
gotta do is look up this man. His company's Merritt BMX. Look his name up. He's
Support
fucking
Royal Buds LA.
Falling on his back. He's a fucking pioneer. Thank you.
MerrittBMX.com at
so
Merritt
much.
BMX on everything, and
Thank
Hey.
you very much
That's
for
all.
coming out.
Hey, this has been the
thanks for
Come
having
Up
us.
TV.
Thanks for
yeah.
letting us chill at the mansion.
Oh, it's been great. We got drunk as hell.
Yo,
yeah, we're all lit.
We are wasted. Hey, yo, send Rodeo Peanut a message. Tell them to unblock me. I want to see this funny shit. I want to see them when they make fun of me.
Ignore him.
Talk to them.
This
Talk
is
to
the
them.
Come Up TV. Thank you very much to my man Mike Brennan for coming on the show. Thank you very much to Catfish VS Thug for coming on the co-host, as well as our man Brad Simms, man of very few words. If you want to go back in time a little bit, Brad Simms had an interview last week. You should go check that out. Check us out on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube. We've been dropping the hot shit every week. Check out No Jumper if you like them rap tunes or if you want to see some boobs or something.
Skibidi bop a doo bop a dee bop ba. Rodeo Peanuts.
Yeah.
There you go.